What's going on, guys? It's Mirwin. Today we're going to make a beat using the random record. So if you guys haven't been watching the YouTube channel, we have our series Rhythm Roulette, inspired by the series from Mass Appeal, where we go into a record store, pick a random record, and then we use it to make a beat. So today we're going to be using this record. I'm going to pick it up right here. So it's going to be this record from the Kenny Rankin. So this is the Kenny Rankin album. If you watched, the last episode, I kind of talked about how, especially when I'm sampling records, the album art is a big thing that really, kind of draws me to it. Especially you kind of see all the album art I have on my wall. I'm a visual person a lot of times. I really like, I really like the aesthetics and all that stuff. So that was definitely something that really drew me to this album. Again, this is an older album, it being on vinyl. It says here this is from 1977, so, a little while ago. But something that really drew to me was that album art. It felt, pretty clean, pretty modern. It kind of reminded me of Kaytranada's album art. I forget the name of it, but, definitely kind of remind me of that aesthetic, just with the framing and things like that. So that's what drew me to this album art initially. That being said, we got a little different format for this video. If you haven't watched one yet, I actually screen recorded my entire process of creating this beat. So you guys get a little peek into my creative process of how I sample, how I make a beat. And I'm just going to kind of be walking you guys through that. We're just going to get started then today. So the beat, the song that I ended up sampling from this album is called A House of Gold. So this is the first song on this album, so it was pretty quick to figure out, is this what I want to sample, all that stuff. So, first thing I'm doing here, watching the screen record, is saving it. Something I always try to do. I don't really lose beats. I don't really think I have in a long time. Probably the last time I lost a beat from not saving it was on my old computer. So, I've learned my lesson from that. But so we're saving it here, and now first thing I pretty much always do is work with the sample. So what we're doing here is we're throwing it into our sampler, and we're going to try and chop it up here. So, the mode I use, you see me change the mode here. I do beat divisions most of the time, just because for me that feels like the easiest way to make sure I'm keeping it in time and like chopping, and all that stuff. Just kind of going with what already is, the song is already phrased. You see me chopping it up here. And then going in, doing a little different section as well on top of it, kind of putting them together there, playing it two separate times. And then I'm just copying and pasting it. And then we got one more section here we're doing for the end. Something I do a lot with sampling is, repetition is a big part, and, music in general, but especially with sampling, so we got two different, if you're kind of looking at the MIDI, we got the first section here is the same, and there's a little change, we got a different chop. Then we got the third section here, that's the same as the first, and the fourth one's different. So, you got a little bit of, just as you listen to it, you're expecting this, as it loops, and then you got little different things going on in there. So, just something, I would try to do is try and use that repetition, just to make sure, because it's not really like chords or anything, that are getting repeated. Even like in music like that, chords, there's repetition in that. But, just trying to make sure that, the sample chop makes sense. So here it looks like we're messing with some velocities. Something I do a lot just to kind of, make the drums more unique, but also, just make them feel more human. So that there was just a hi-hat. Now we're doing an open hi-hat. Something I also did, when I was talking about the sample, we got the snare I laid down as well. So now I'm just playing where I want that open hi-hat, trying to figure out where I want it. Something I talked a little bit about in the last video, with this challenge for Rhythm Roulette, something I wanted to do is really push myself with moving quickly, moving efficiently. So, I had a rough 30-minute timer. So, I'm trying to lay down the drums as quick as I can, move to the next element. So something I did while I was doing that was really just focus on, let's get a couple takes of me just while it's looping, playing where I want those drum elements to sit, so then when I hit record, it's as close to what I want as possible. So here we are playing some more hi-hats. Just really trying to move quickly and, just really push myself and, finishing the beat and not really getting into the details too much. Normally when I'm doing the drums for a beat, I really, I lay it down and then go and get everything perfect how I want it, then move on to the next element. With these beats, I really just kind of, lay it down, move to the next thing, and then, when I get started on mixing and mastering it, I'll, go in and get everything all set. So here we're doing a little perk, it looks like, and then, again, we're just playing it beforehand, just trying to get it to, land where I want while I'm playing on the keyboard. Again, something I mentioned in the last videos, we have a couple more episodes of this if you enjoy this, so definitely encourage you guys to go watch the rest of them. But you know, I don't have like a MIDI keyboard or anything I use. I know it's a pretty big thing. You know, I have friends that use them. For me, it's never been something that, you know, I've tried it a couple times. I had one. I ended up giving it to someone. But for me, I've just always, you know, made beats using my computer, my laptop with my keyboard, you know, and that's how I've laid the MIDI down. So for my workflow, that's always just been the quickest way of doing it. And, you know, whenever I try, you know, plug in the keyboard, you know, the little pads and things, and it is really cool, but I think it's just always, you know, kind of slowed me down a little bit. I do also like, you know, just having the laptop. This is everything I need. You know, I can take it wherever I want, just kind of, you know, plug my headphones in and we're good. So that being said, here, you know, we're laying some more drums down. And then we got, I believe this is the kick, it looks like, or maybe it's a clap, it looks like we're doing next. So we're doing a clap here. You know, again, straight into it, hit record. It looks like we're just gonna, we just dragged that MIDI down from the top pattern and copied it in. We just kind of already, I knew, you know, that was the same pattern, so we just copied it down. Here we're doing a low cut, cutting out the lows in the sample to create some more room for the bass and the 808. So, you know, something I pretty much always do on all my samples, just so there's not, you know, the conflicting frequencies, and, you know, don't want to muddy it up or anything like that. And now we are going to pitch the sample up. So we are doing it 3 semitones. So something with pitching the sample up, a lot of times it affects the timing of the sample. So, you know, looks like we're actually doing 4. I might just kind of be messing around with it here. But a lot of times it affects the timing of the sample. So with this beat, I chose to not do that at the beginning, just so I can get the drums landing the way I wanted and not have to worry about all the pitches, you know, do I have to quantize the same, all that stuff. So just trying to figure that out. Now we're doing it back to 2 semitones. Looks like I was kind of, you know, messing around with how I wanted it. Now we're finally doing the bass. So this should be the last drum element here. We're laying the bass down. You know, so obviously I looked up the root notes and the notes that are in key, you know, and adjusted it to the pitching it up 2 semitones. And then that is basically it for this beat. You know, we laid down the bass, and that's basically it. Some of the stuff I did off camera, so, you know, I did the mixing and mastering off camera. I also did some arrangement. You know, I went in there, did some, you know, the EQ on some of the drums, and, you know, got the MIDI hidden perfectly, you know, on grid and all that stuff, got the sample on grid, all that. So that was all the stuff I did off camera. All the stuff I did otherwise, you know, the main creative heavy lifting was done through the screen recording. Obviously, we edited it for time's sake, you know, like I said, you know, this took about like 30 minutes. Don't want the video to be that long. Also wouldn't be that interesting because, you know, it'd be a lot slower paced. But that being said, we're going to listen to the beat here and hope you guys like it.
Mirwin, what's going on?
I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys haven't had a chance to listen to any of my music, I got some new stuff out. Got the link in the description. Definitely encourage you guys to go check that out. Appreciate anyone who listens to my music. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.